What if an entire country pressed pause, not in anger, not in protest, but in unison? Imagine a nation of over 1.4 billion people coming to a standstill. What if their hands, the hands that build, create, and drive the nation, suddenly stopped? What if their voices, the voices that drive progress, were raised in unison? That's what happened in India on July 2025. It wasn't a riot, not a festival, but a shutdown so massive it brought a nation to a standstill. On July 9th, 2025, India didn't just slow down. It shook. This wasn't just a strike. This was the sound of frustration, fear, and forgotten promises rising like thunder. A chorus of discontent echoed across the country. So what happened on July 9th, 2025? What was the Bharat Bandh? Why did 200 million workers unite? And what does it signify for India's future? Let's find out. India woke up to a different beat on July 9th, 2025. The rhythm of the city had changed. No honking, no bustling crowds. Offices wore a deserted look, factories fell silent, and construction sites lay abandoned. It was as if the very pulse of the nation had skipped a beat. This wasn't a scene from a dystopian movie. It was the reality of India on July 9th, 2025, the day of the Bharat Bandh, a nationwide strike. This wasn't your average strike, a walkout by a few workers here, a protest by a handful of employees there. This was something unprecedented, a united front by over 200 million workers across the country. Government employees, private sector workers, farmers, daily wagers, truckers, auto drivers, shopkeepers, and vendors. Almost everyone who puts their hands to work stopped. They stopped to send a message loud and clear. They stopped to be heard. But why? Why did such a large section of the population decide to take this drastic step? To understand that, we must delve into the heart of the matter, the Bharat Bandh, which translates to Indian strike. It's not just a word. It's a symbol of unity, a testament to the solidarity of India's workforce. This strike was called by a coalition of 10 central trade unions, an alliance of some of the largest and most influential labor organizations in India. These unions, representing diverse segments of the workforce, came together under one banner, united by a common set of demands, united by a common goal. At the core of this movement were two key issues: labor reforms and the plight of farmers. The government's recent push for labor reforms has been a contentious issue. The introduction of 4 new labor codes has raised significant concerns among workers. These codes aim to consolidate and simplify existing labor laws, but they've been met with resistance. Trade unions argue that these reforms will erode hard-won workers' protections, open the floodgates for longer working hours, weaker unions, and fewer benefits. The proposed changes have sparked fears of increased exploitation and job insecurity, particularly in the unorganized sector where a majority of India's workforce is employed. Then there are the farmers. For years, they've been the backbone of India's economy, feeding the nation, yet often going without themselves. Their struggles are many, from fluctuating crop prices to the burden of debt. The recent farm laws have only added to their woes. The strike aimed to amplify their voices, to bring them to the forefront of the national discourse. It was a cry for fairer policies, for better support, for a better deal. In essence, the Bharat Bandh was a protest against inequality, a demand for fairness. It was a call for the government to recognize the contributions of its citizens, the people who, day in and day out, keep the wheels of the economy turning. This wasn't just a strike. It was a statement. It was a statement of their power, of their unity, and of their resolve. When over 200 million workers walk out of their jobs, they're not just striking. They're sending a message. They're saying, "We are the backbone of this nation. We built this country. We deserve to be heard." But how big was this strike? How many people participated? How much did it impact the country? The Bharat Bandh was not a localized event. It was a nationwide phenomenon. According to estimates, close to 25 crore workers participated in the strike. Central trade union leaders claimed that the strike enjoyed massive support, with an estimated 80% of workers in both rural and urban areas participating. This widespread participation led to significant disruptions across various sectors. Government offices functioned with skeleton staff, with many departments reporting low attendance. Essential services like healthcare and emergency services were largely unaffected, but many private establishments felt the impact. Businesses that relied on daily wage workers, or those operating in labor-intensive sectors witnessed significant setbacks. The strike reverberated through the corridors of India's thriving IT industry. In cities like Bengaluru, a considerable number of techies joined the strike, reflecting the growing concern among the youth about labor rights and job security. As the strike continued, the impact became more evident. Transportation services were severely hit, with long-distance trains reporting low occupancy and several flights being canceled due to the unavailability of ground staff. Markets wore a deserted look as shopkeepers and vendors downed shutters in solidarity, contributing to the nationwide shutdown. Even schools and colleges were not spared, with many educational institutions announcing holidays due to the strike. The strike was not just about bringing the country to a standstill. It was about making the government listen. It was a way for workers to amplify their demands, to bring them to the forefront of the national agenda. But what are these demands? What are the workers asking for? The demands are many and varied, reflecting the diverse needs and challenges faced by India's workforce. At the top of the list are the withdrawal of the new labor codes and an end to the privatization of public sector enterprises. Workers want a reversal of policies that they believe are detrimental to their rights and job security. They seek the restoration of the old pension scheme, which they argue provides better retirement benefits than the current national pension system. The demand for a universal social security scheme underscores the need for comprehensive welfare measures, especially for workers in the informal sector who often lack access to basic benefits. The proposal to increase minimum wages to Rs 26,000 aims to provide a decent standard of living for low-wage earners, recognizing their crucial contributions to the economy. The focus on affordable housing reflects the stark reality of many Indian workers who struggle to secure decent living arrangements for themselves and their families. The demand for more investment in health, education, and public welfare highlights the need for prioritizing human development alongside economic growth. These demands are not merely about securing immediate relief. They represent a larger aspiration for a more equitable and sustainable future. The Bharat Bandh wasn't just a strike. It was a resounding echo of workers' voices, a chorus that demanded to be heard. It was a reminder of their strength, their unity, and their unwavering spirit. It was a testament to the power of collective action, a demonstration of what can be achieved when ordinary people stand up for their rights, when hands that build a nation come together, and when voices that drive progress are raised in unison. It was a moment that echoed across the country, a moment that left its mark on the national discourse, a moment that underscored the pulse of India's workforce. But what will be the outcome of this strike? Will the government accept the demands? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the message has been delivered. The question is, will the government listen? What do you think? Let me know in the comments section below. Your thoughts matter. Share your opinions, share your insights. Let's discuss. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing. Your support means a lot. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Together, we can make a difference. Stay tuned for more insightful content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.